Hello, everybody. This is Max Farrell. This is Dex Signals. This is the Pro Member Webinar Weekly Wrap Up. Yeah, me, Max Farrell, and today a very special guest. We also have Brian Farrell. How you doing, Brian?
Not too bad. How about yourself, man?
Not too bad. Brian and I are brothers, of course, um, and we started this company in the hope to meet and help as many people, traders, whether you're novice, pro, you know, it doesn't matter, whatever level that you're at. We're trying to come into this process to be able to help as many people as possible because when we first started trading, we struggled trying to find reputable, honest, real signals, real trades. We've gotten ripped off so many times, it's not even funny anymore. Okay. We begin to see a pattern here throughout the world that, you know, the forex market, the binary market is riddled with scam artists and scammers and all that stuff. I don't want to start this off with a negative overtone, but we have really strived to make our signals as positive and forward. And when they don't work, we admit it, we show it. When things fall apart, we fix it. Is that about right, Brian?
That is absolutely correct.
One thing you'll know about us as a company, we never give up. We've been doing this for just under a year now with the Signals Network, with Dex Signals. And we had to take a little quiet time because we started off really, really strong. We were charging $197 a month. Everybody was coming in and, everybody was excited that the signals were working. But once we turned on the auto side of it, to where it was automatically giving the signals out there, things started to fall apart. So we had to come up with a better algorithm and better series. So as we did, it took several months to do so, but we finally found it. We finally found the process, and we got it out there. You'll see here within the weekly wrap up what's going to happen here. So let's start the presentation. What we're going to talk about today here on the wrap up is, of course, the sum of the week. This is all of our trades in Nadex and Dibs, and of course, my own personal account that I'll be trading, which you'll have to through a reading of the disclaimer. Sorry, but it needs to be done. We'll also talk about the Nadex new dailies that are going to be coming. So I hope you're really excited because this is going to increase the amount of signals and possible trade profits that you'll be able to get both on Nadex and Dibs. Both have new signal times, which is awesome. We also this past week released our Twitter feeds network, which I'll show you here too, which is pretty awesome, I think, because I get little notifications on my phone when a trade comes out or a signal comes out. I simply just go over to my computer now and say, there it is, and I follow the signal from there, or I can go to the website and simply follow it there as well. Okay. Lastly, we'll probably talk about just a little bit about using the DIB system and the importance of your risk management and the other programs that we have available for you. At that point, we'll probably just call it an early day because yesterday was St. Patrick's Day, and I'm pretty sure some of you probably want to turn down your volume a little bit, are still hungover. If you're watching this a couple of days later, then maybe you've recuperated. All right, so let's get started. Okay. First and foremost, I have to read the risk disclaimer. It's by law one of our conditions of the regulations for here in the United States. Trading in financial instruments carries a high level of risk to your capital with the possibility of losing more than your initial investment. Trading in financial instruments may not be suitable for all investors and is only intended for the people over 18. Please ensure that you are fully aware of these risks involved and, if necessary, seek independent financial advice. The past and recent trade performance of any stock, security, commodity, or derivative is not necessarily indicative of future profits and losses. We do not and cannot guarantee that the use of our service will generate you these profits. We do not and cannot take responsibility for any losses to your accounts, and you must trade and take sole responsibility to evaluate all information provided by this website and this network and use it on your own risk. All trading information we provide is intended as trade assistance only or education. Sorry, I forgot that last part there. Or education. Okay. Our Forex trades have to be utilized as and referred to as educational signals. Okay. We can't tell you to take live trades. But with Nadex and Dibs, we can. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about our success. And this is huge for us. If you have anything to do with the company, sorry about that little pop up there. You guys can see the, the presentation here. So the Nadex signals, why did they go from like 65 and 71% success to 84% success rate? Well, simply enough, we found the right algorithm. We found the right ranging process that we developed to be able to help us get to a higher success rate. Another reason why they became more successful is that we started to focus more on the expiry times and a little bit longer detailed than the daily. We interjected our daily ones instead of everybody's trying these 5 minute trades and 1 hour trades, which is okay. But in our case, our 3 hour and in some cases 5 hour trades are just cleaning it up. And you'll see that here on a screen share that I'll bring up here pretty soon as well. With an 84% success rate, we had this number is reoccurring this week, isn't it, Brian? We kept on going back in time to look at our success rates over the last 2 weeks, and the number 84 kept on popping up. But we had 71 wins, 13 losses. Remember, there's no perfect system out there, so you're definitely going to have losses. The average contract price. Now, this is a little bit different than what you're going to see on my account here in just a few minutes, okay? That the average contract price is about $24. Now, why this is a little bit lower, I mean, it could have, if in fact, it could have hit $17, but we didn't add in all of the actual signals that were there. The ones that made the actual cut to be there, okay, were averaged out at $24 per contract. Now, if you're a Nadex trader, you know how important it is to be above $20. Okay, if you're cutting them down lower than that, and you have a win ratio of say 80%, you're still only breaking even. So you want to make sure that you keep those percentages of your contract price up. Okay, things over $20, and this is for me. For you, it might be completely different. You might want them at $18 or $15 because you can take that risk. Maybe you feel like you could take that risk. But a word to the wise: the higher over $20, keep it between $20 and $45 profit margin. You'll be very successful in this process, and you'll see what I'm talking about here in live, real money. Okay, not just some demo account that I can swing around by the arms. Okay, now in dibs, if you're a dibs trader, if you're an international binary broker trader, you had a little bit of a hard week this week. Well, we did as well, because in trading, we had 61%. Now, the reason being is that we applied some algorithms from our Nadex process of a 3-hour overlay into our dibs connection here, okay? And that is really important because we started to find where is that time frame that we can call from at the money. Now, at the money means at the money. ITM means in the money for Nadex, and OTM means out of the money. Well, in most cases, when we're setting out a signal at a time, say like 2 a.m., okay, for Nadex, that 2 a.m. signal is actually for an expire at 7 a.m. in the morning for Nadex. But for dibs, the 2 a.m. expiry is 3 a.m. Okay, so the 2 a.m. signal expires at 3 a.m. So we're trying to find that right balance. Do we make it 3 a.m. or do we try to make it 3:30? So in finding that information, we did a live interjection with these signals over the past week, and we had found that when we released it this past week over 1 exact hour from the time the signal came out, our win-loss ratio suffered. Okay, so but if we started to release them at the 3 a.m. side, so within the hour. Okay, so if the signal came out at say 2:15, that 45-minute time period up to that point from the current price was winning a lot more. That jumped up to 74% success rate. I'm pretty sure if we tune it up per trade and per time period, we can actually even do better. Okay, now on all of our trades for our live units, we did it $5 a trade. Okay, and that was very important for you guys to know, is that when you're starting out, you got to make sure your balance can withstand the risk management and be able to handle. We don't do more than $5 a trade on there, because no matter how big we get, we don't want to appear to new people as we're like some flash in the pan kind of company, and that we're just throwing money all over the place. I've seen too many signal companies out there that use demo accounts and say, I just did a $2,500 trade. I want to show you real money. I want to show you the minimum that you can make at everything that we're doing. Okay. Now, eventually, my live account for Nadex, I will always stay with the amount that's on my balance for risk management. So you'll always be able to see exactly how much you can make when you have that proper balance. All right. Let's get over to, I won't read the risk disclaimer again, but this risk disclaimer is also for me as well. Okay. So if you're brand new to this process, the risk disclaimer here is to cover the information I'm about to give you from my personal account. This is not the Our Investments or Dex Signals account. So on my live account, which for this week only, okay, we started the account with about $1,000. It's a special account that started just for me. My wife had one, everybody else, the companies had one, Brian has one, but we use mine here as not the demo, but as a guinea pig, if you will, for the process. Now, we started it last week in the beginning of the month with $1,000, okay, and we didn't trade. There's a lot of times we didn't trade before Sunday, or this past Sunday. This past Sunday, which was the 13th of March, we had a balance of there of $1,117. Okay, we made about 117 before that. Okay, but we finished the week out. Now, when I say we finished the week out, today's Friday. Why ain't I trading today? Well, because our dailies don't have anything arrived right now at this point. Next week, there'll be some stuff on Friday, which would be pretty cool. But our last trade as of this week was last night at the 7 a.m. expiry, this morning at 7 a.m. the expiry. Okay. We did about six trades average a day. Okay. Now the averages, I didn't compile exactly every single trade into that process. This is the only trades that I took for this account. Okay. I didn't take every single signal that came over. You're not supposed to, unless your account balance can handle it, and then man, you got it made. Okay. But the trades that I took, it was my personal preference on what I took. I took things that were over that $20. I took things that were under the $45. I took things that I felt that because I use my own judgment, if you will, to make my trades. So I was doing about six trades average a day. It's about, because we're doing 3 sessions a day, it's about 2. I was doing 3 on some, and I wasn't doing the 2 a.m. ones, or maybe I missed a session in there, but we did about 6 average a day. Our contract amounts. Now, this is including the losses, okay? So even with our losses on the contracts, I'm sorry, this is not including our losses. So the average contract amount that I was getting, whether it was a loss or a win, was $34 profit. So if I would have won that loss, it would have been a certain amount, okay? So our $35 average contract price means a tremendous amount. That means that we can have a 67% success rate and still be making money or breaking even. That's our break even mark, okay? So our average is including our losses, not excluding. And we're only doing 1 contract per signal, per trade. So it wasn't like I was doing 3 or 4 or 5 to kind of boost these numbers, or I did a Hail Mary play. And these were consistent, disciplined trades that I chose out of the signals that we've done. I didn't do anything fancy. I didn't make up another system and try it or do some other program. I used our signals to make these trades. Now here, when the week finishes out here tonight at 4 o'clock, I will be publishing in our Pro Account Network proof of this matter. Okay, so it'll be on an actual PDF that will be on the site that you'll be able to download and have a look at. Don't worry, I'm not afraid of it at all, because there's a lot of information in there, and you can see the wins, you can see the losses, you can see the money being made. This is real money. So $1,746. Okay, that's what the finishing balance was, and of course I did not add it up. Look, I got my that's $629 for the week. That's 4 days, by the way. That's 4 days. If I divide that by 4, really that's about $157 a day. And in all actuality, from Sunday night to Monday is 1, Monday to Tuesday is 2, Tuesday to Wednesday is 3. Yeah, so 4 days total of trading, 4 total days. And that's not too bad. For me personally, I need to make about $4,000 a month with 20 days of trading. That's really super close. I mean, if I look at that over 20 days, yeah, that's about $3,100 that I could be making right there. And again, that's 1 contract. Once my balance builds up, I'll be able to add another contract to that process and doubling my money at that point. Okay. Now, this is the first week that we're in doing it this way. We've done it many weeks prior to, and did really well. But this is the first time we're applying all of the proof into one position so you can kind of see where it's at. Now, let's talk about the new Nadex times. And this is really exciting. If you're brand new to Nadex, or if you've been around for Nadex for a while, you know that it's very difficult to get signals. I dare you to go out there and type in Nadex signals. You're going to find us on the first page of Google anyway. Ain't that right, bro? Thanks to Brian Farrow, by the way, who's our SEO god.
That is correct. We tried to nail down as many search terms as we could.
Exactly, because we want to get this in the hands of as many people as possible using Nadex. What a wonderful tool this is. Okay. Also, can thank Brian. He's the head of customer service, so you probably have talked to him if you've been here before. If you're watching this, you probably have talked to Brian at one point or another, being head of customer service. So thank you very much for all that you do.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so new Nadex times, really exciting. Why is it so exciting? Well, because look at all these new times. We originally just had the 7 a.m., the 11 p.m., and the 7 p.m. So we only had those three. So we've added, one, two, three, four, five, six. So we added three more. I learned how to count when I was young. But
This basically covers all the dailies for the 10 different pairs.
this covers every single daily for all 10 pairs. Now, this beginning process that we do with the system, originally we were hand calling, manually calling all these signals. We then switched it over to an automated process, and it failed because there was no secondary control over it. Okay. So over the past couple of weeks, we've been testing with the automated series, and I have been approving them. So I'm up all day long at a point, I get some sleep in between to approve and send forth the signals that I feel were worthy enough to be on the charts. Okay. As the machine starts to progress and I start teaching the machine how to trade better and better and better, which we have, Nadex is going to improve even more. So you're probably going to drop down in win-loss ratio just a little bit because I know there's going to be signals in there that tricks the machine, or different news comes out or different things come out that blow the mentality out. Maybe there's a little bit extra buying power and then it falls back into normal. So it might be a mixed signal. Okay. But again, this comes back to you as when you're a pro trader here, you're going to learn all these other secondary techniques. If you're a basic member and you're here or you're watching right now, I would just run right over the pro. Don't even mess around anymore with basic. Okay. In fact, I almost feel obligated to remove basic altogether and just create a pro series. But a lot of people wanted the lower price point because they want to test stuff out. They wanted free because they want to test stuff out. But really, if you're going to interject yourself into trading, get on full board. That's why we make these videos, so you can see what's in there before you get in. Plus, we got a 30-day money back guarantee. What do you have to lose? Nothing. Nothing. If you can't make it work in 30 days, whether you're pro Nadex or basic or free, you're not going to make it anyway. Okay. It might just be that this is your deciding factor. If you can't make it in 30 days, you get your money back on that part of the process. You've been trading demo anyway, so you're not losing any money on the market. So there you go. You got your answer. Some people pay a lot of money for that kind of stuff. All right. So let's jump back into the last expiries. Um, these newer expiries are also going to be put out with the combination that I will be approving them as they go, okay, for the first week or two. And then I will release information that, hey, these things are now automated, so you've got to use the care. If you're a pro member, you'll learn exactly how to double confirm them yourself. Okay, very important. Now, the dibs added times are sort of around the same time frames. Kind of coincidental, huh? Maybe not. But they're only set up on an hour expiry, or what I refer to as a within hour expiry. So if the signal comes out, it will come out between 12 and 1 a.m., but it will expire at 1 a.m. Okay. Sometimes it might come out at 15 minutes too, which we call a red zone deal. All right. So that still could happen. And it has a really high success rate when it does it in this fashion. We back tested and we forward tested already secretly behind the scenes. And we'll be releasing those here over the next week. Okay. So when it comes out at between 2 and 3 a.m., it's at 3 a.m. expiry. Okay. Because the dibs come out at current price, it's very easy to get kind of stuck between a high run and a low run. Okay. So just keep that in mind. If you're an international binary guy, okay, or using a broker from overseas, you really want to watch the pace of things. Okay. If the signal comes out and it's already in a run past it, we teach you what not to get in, how to double confirm yourself in on a dibs as well. All right. Very, very important. And if you're trading, don't try to trade every single time zone. You know, pick a time that works for you, that you're comfortable in, that you've got good time, you can put a lot of energy to it. You can have some quiet time sitting in front of your computer and study the process. Because if you're trying to make this trade by using your phone on a bus, you're going to make mistakes. Trust me, I know. Yeah, I sat at a stop sign one day or a stoplight one day when I was making trades. My wife was driving, and I was trying to make the trade from my phone, and I pushed the wrong button in for contracts and bought 100 contracts on Nadex. And you know what? Do you think they give you your money back? You think that that little sandbox ever said, and this was live too. This was live money. I lost a lot of money that day because I got out right away. So I lost almost $300 just in 30 seconds of that signal being on there. So you can make mistakes. You have to be prepared, and you have to be disciplined enough to be in front of your computer, be calm, and remove the noise, do all that stuff. If this is your business, you've got to treat it as such. Okay. Well, we won't say the end right now, but all right. So that's basically the process in a nutshell, if you will, of the network. Um, things that we want to talk about here at the end here are the Twitter feeds. Man, you guys should be excited, right? I mean, Twitter is a very powerful tool, but what we have done with Twitter, get myself logged in here. I know you guys can't see the screen yet, so just give me 1 second here as I come on board. Don't want you to see me logging in. Okay, there it is. Security. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is my personal account. You should be following me. If you're not following me, you're making a mistake. Okay, you should be following at @MaxFarrow_trade. If you're not following that right now, whether you're a customer or not, you're still making a mistake. you should be following. Um, Once you become a pro member, you get over to and you have your Twitter account. You just simply come over and you've already turned on your mobile notifications in your own system. Our system will show you how to do that. You'll turn on the notifications here for our Dex Signals Pro group, okay? And you'll receive these signals. This is 1:30 in the morning, okay? Look at all these. What a wonderful tool these are. Even if you're just getting them on your phone, that alerts you to get over to the computer, okay? Very, very important. So you don't have to wait around all day. If you're in basic or you're in free, you're waiting for these signals. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, another good thing with these signals as well is that you'll begin to see the pattern behind the time periods that they come out. You'll become nurtured to when these things will feed for you. Okay, and the signals will help show you that new trades are coming out and get you to that process so you can go on and do other things. Now, Nadex has a program too, to where they have an online app and all this other stuff. So theoretically, if you had a nice little quiet place and you had maybe a pad or someplace that you do it, you might be able to do it on your phone. I'm not suggesting that, but if you did have a pad or another source that you're just sitting there with, you could compile a method between the three, okay, of getting the signals, looking at the news, double confirming the trade, and getting on, okay? But I still like to have a chart in front of me every once in a while, just to kind of look at overall price action, okay? And we show you how to do that inside, okay, inside the Pro Series. All right. So
Yeah, and I just wanted to say
Sure.
real quick, that was the notifications is one of the things that's been pretty much like our most asked question all week long.
Right.
Was how were the signals delivered, and if we had any kind of notification services. But again, I always like to point out, yeah, even though it is possible to trade on the go or to trade using mobile devices, it, it I don't know how exactly to word it, but if you're trading without a chart in front of you, you're just guessing. Yeah. And even if it's an educated guess by following the signals that we're providing and so forth and so on, we still teach you how to look at that chart and make an educated guess as to whether or not that's the right trade for you. Right. Because, again, like you said before, there are going to be some trades that doesn't have nearly as much money on it, but it might fall into your risk management category, and you can take that where somebody else can't. But if you're not looking at those charts while you're making the trades, you're shorting yourself.
Or if you're looking at news too, I mean, you have to have the availability to know, when we call it double confirmed, we check the chart, we check the news. Because sometimes the system will give a false signal because there's a hard news day. Our system now will also be trading through all the news periods. or before we were avoiding most of them. Okay, because we've seen during secondarily behind the scenes testing, what we call back testing and forward testing, that the majority of trades that were coming through these news times were triggered by news and ended up in those directions that we needed to. So very powerful both on dibs and nadex. So if you're watching this after the fact, if you're watching this say on Saturday or Sunday, um, you definitely have the opportunity to get started and get on board. If you're a pro member and you're watching the sum and you didn't have the success that you wanted to this week, this coming week is also going to be the time that I'm reaching out to all the pro members to start our trading group. So when you become a pro member, you are immersed into this trading group style that we are able to help you get through those things. Some of you may not have a lot of experience. Okay. Some of you may not have the the confidence, if you will, to make the trades. We help get you there with that. Okay. We can help teach you the discipline, but you have to have the wherewithal to be able to use that discipline, use that knowledge to create the discipline in your life to make this work. I don't want to sound like an MLM or a work at home scheme or something, but it's the best thing I've ever done. Being only footsteps away from my kids during the day is a blessing. Whether or not them running around upstairs all day is really, really loud, but it's still a blessing. My commute every day went from an hour and a half going to Boston to 15 seconds down 12 stairs. Why does it take 15 seconds to go down 12 stairs? Because I like to go slow.
Holding your cup of coffee.
I know. I spill my coffee. I have to have a mop at the bottom of the stairs every day. My brother knows me so well. All right. Now, what's your commute like? What's your life like? It's not going to happen overnight. It didn't happen for me overnight. But for you, if you're brand new to trading, if you maybe have experience, maybe you've never gotten to the point of getting to get that serious. Our signals aren't a save all. There's work to be done. There's no cheat here. There's work to be done. We helped get you to a point to where, scouring the internet and learning how to do 50,000 different strategies, we teach you how to do just one. Okay? It's just one. The ideal of taking something complicated and making it extremely simple and understandable, okay, is very, very profound, especially in the life of somebody who wants to make money consistently, not just one time. This isn't some trade secret that's going to fail tomorrow. We found it to where it's creating ourselves at an 84% success rate. And that number keeps coming around for some reason. There's a reference in trading, and it's called the mean. And the mean's real simple, and I'll draw it here on the chart. Okay. If you have a market that goes like this, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, and a company gives a signal here and gives a signal here and says go here, this particular type of trading is reactionary to the market. And if you give enough of these signals over a period of time, maybe month one, you got in November, you have, 71% success rate. And then in December, you fall down to 54%. Okay. And then in January, you're maybe 62%. Something begins to happen in success rate. Okay. In every single strategy I have ever seen, except one now, but in every single one I've ever seen, it always stays between a level about here and a level about here. And we refer to this the mean. This is 60%. Sorry for my drawing. It's really, really sucky. And this is 40%. And the signal success stays between 60 and 40 because if it dropped down below 40, most companies that are pretty smart will just flip their trades. They do the opposite. You get what I'm saying? And then 60% and above is a winning ratio. You can actually make money with 60% success rate signals, but they have to be true, right? So returning to the mean happens to almost every single strategy because it's a time-based process. It's numbers. Everything returns to this ratio. When you add enough to it, you either add more time or add more signals. We found with ours, it's not so much based on a reactionary of a single indicator. It's using a lot more, but we dumb it all the way down so it compiles all the information into just a few actual triggers. And what happens, these triggers will spot the market if it's calling for a particular time, and it will react to that trigger, but only if it double confirms that trigger. So as it pumps through, it might pump through again, and it gives us a second trigger that says, okay, yes, this is a signal for an up. But if it comes up and it doesn't hit that, oh, it's not really a signal for an up. So we don't trigger a signal. So with this single confirmation, so you got 1, 2 confirmation, then you even have a third, which is the human element, which is me or Brian or one of the other senior traders. We have another Mark Azier who's going to be coming on soon. Okay, so this confirmation side looks at even a third independent person coming on to look at the signal to make sure it goes out. Now this stuff happens very, very quickly. If you think you guys get them fast on Twitter, I get them immediately from MT4. From our trader network. It comes directly to me first before it even goes into Twitter. Okay, and we're talking only milliseconds here, but I still get it first, and then Google. All right. So hopefully this answered a lot of your questions. Of course, there's that risk disclaimer again. And maybe you had more stuff to ask. At this particular time, the recording is still on. If anybody has any questions, we have Francis, we have Patrick, we have Paul, we have Brian, we have anybody else on the network. If you have any questions whatsoever, please go ahead and ask now. Start doing that. As you're forming whether or not you want to ask a question, you say yes or no if you have any questions. Also remember that if you have any problems with the website, please go to support. They are there for you 24/7, not really 24/7, but as much as they possibly can. And if not, send an email in, of course, and we can get all your questions answered. Um, as far as the trading side, if you're a pro member, you'll be a part of that pro trading group next week, which will have a chat room, we'll have trades that'll be going out during certain time periods. Of course, I can't be there all day. But I will be taking interns under special advisement for getting more senior traders. Everybody starts out as a basic, beginner trader with this network, and you build up. And as you provide us proof that you're making the trades, that things are going good, excuse me, we can bring you on as a senior trader, and you can make even more money. And lastly, we have an affiliate program. And if you're not a part of this affiliate program, you're leaving money on the table. Because if you got a Facebook page, if you got a Twitter page, if you're good at marketing, maybe you're not good at marketing, maybe you just have a few friends. That only takes 3 people to make your stuff for free. Is that still right? That is right, right? For now?
Yeah,
I think it is,
absolutely.
right? 3 is free, right? So when our prices go up, trust me, you're going to want to be a part of the group now, because when the prices go up here in a couple of weeks, because we brought these introductory prices back down again because we wanted to bring as many people on as possible.
Absolutely, especially while we were in this phase of, and again, this coming week is going to be huge as far as getting a lot more things integrated into the site.
Oh my God!
There are still, a few little tweaks here and there that some people have mentioned throughout the week, but all that will be worked on throughout the week, and we're going to try to remain as open and in contact with everybody as possible. As soon as something gets changed on the website, everybody will know about it.
Yeah.
As soon as the pro trader rooms come out, we're also going to make a spot on there where these webinars can be placed after the fact. So you can always go in and see the latest webinar with the links for the upcoming ones as well. But we're going to try to get all of these past ones in there so you can catch up if you're just coming into the system.
Great point. You know what, Francis? That's exactly right. And you're welcome. Brian, he testament to you. First, thank you to Brian, whom I've spoken with a lot. He's been a great help, and especially after this webinar, I'm going to be going pro. Congratulations. That is a great statement. But also on, not just on the chart, but also on the probability that shows up next to the pairs in the alerts. Yes, absolutely. If you go to any one of the pages in here, and in fact, we'll do this for you right now. Give me 1 second. Let me get over there. And this is a great question, by the way. And thank you very much for asking it. You have been basing all of it on the percentage rate and the success rate, okay? And as you can kind of see, we started off most of the trades here. If you look, and you guys can see my screen, right? So, and this is, I love green. I love the color green. Okay, I hate the color red. That's why these are blue. I think red's such a negative color. Even when I lose, I don't see it as a negative thing. I see it. My brother and I had this thing. It's not real until you lose. Okay.
Yeah.
And the losing percentage, the success rate that we have here, 66%. Okay. This is really a kind of misnomer here almost. We have to kind of look at it as that, yes, that trade has probably lost more than others. Okay. But you can see there's another loss there. And because we didn't trade with it a lot at that point, because once I begin to see a pattern in the win loss, I don't double confirm it. Okay. So it's building slowly. But you got plenty others to deal with. Okay. There's another part of the backup here too, Francis, is that if you have a um, a way to look at charts. Hang on one second. Let me see if I can pull one up here real quick. Might take a second because normally I don't like to run a lot of stuff during the webinars, but I wanted to be able to show you what we're referring to right here. Um, Maybe not so much here, but because I forgot this is going to be open to the regular public too. But there is part of the process of knowing which ones to look at. Let me just pull up a chart here, and I'll show you what it looks like. I don't like. I want to set up the template so you can see it. Okay, this should work. Over here. Up there we go. Pull my chart. You guys can kind of see the chart, right? Okay. So basically, the signal comes out, and I'm only going to use, for instance, I'm not going to use actual timing on the chart and everything else. Okay. Let's just say that the signal comes out, and it comes out right here, and it gives us a signal. Let's just say gives us a signal down. Okay. And you're on this chart, but you don't really see any of this. Okay. Maybe you're here. Okay. Maybe you're right here, and you got a signal that comes in and it says, yeah, let's use that one. That one's a little bit better. I don't like giving a lot of these kind of examples, but maybe the signal says this is going to be an up, right? There's a couple things to take an advantage here, right? You can scale back and really look at, because you're on a 1 hour chart. Each one of these bars is 1 hour, and this, you've had so much stuff happening. Where does it end? When do you know that it's going to come back up again? Our probability here is that when you're going against what the trend is already, you can see a common sense trend happening right now. Okay, so maybe this one is an up, but is that the probability? You're looking at the common sense side of it. Everybody likes to think, oh, I could buy on the reversal. Oh, I could have bought right here. Or I could have bought right here. No. If you got something, the trend is your friend. And this is what we teach inside. The trend is your friend. It doesn't always work. But when you couple them with our signals, the availability to go with the trend is your friend. So this might be one I wouldn't take. Now, if it was right here, this is the beginning of a trend. You've already started to see, that it's already started going down. If this signal had come out here, this could be something I would take as well because I'm going with what the trend has started to become. This is on the hour. Now, a better way to look at it too is on the 15-minute chart because now you really see a good trend happen. Okay, and that's how important using your charts are. Even just, you see any indicators on here? There's no indicators. There's no crazy stuff that you can put on here. We can teach you other things like the 20 EMA and stochastics and all kinds of stuff. The RSI, and you can riddle your chart with a whole bunch of crap. But why? You don't need it. All right, Francis, thanks a lot. And you know what? I can't wait for you to go pro. It's awesome. Make sure that if you, is he a free member now? Is that what he is now? You're basic right now. Okay. Um, is that the one that you sent out the is he the one that you sent out the thing to and he came in?
No, I don't believe so.
Okay. All right. Either way, let's get you over to pro. We really do appreciate it. I'm pretty sure. I think the thing as you go through, I don't think we've had somebody upgrade from basic to pro. But go ahead and give it a shot. Let me know how it works out. If you have any problems, give Brian a call and all that kind of stuff. So, but we really do appreciate all your business that you have provided, and to anybody else who's thinking about going pro, it is worth its weight in gold. Plus, one is not only you get all this extra stuff and you get access to me in trades and questions in the trading room, but you'll get actual you'll be saving money in the future as well because your account as a pro member is strictly stuck at whatever you're paying right then. So if you're paying $87 a month, when it's hitting 197, you got 50 other indicators and other things you can use now because we're teaching you all these other things. Yeah, it's all over.
Yes, pros are not only locked in for life on their rate, but they're locked in for life on all future updates. So anything that we add to pro packages,
oh yeah,
all existing pros will get it.
oh yeah. Well, one of the things we're in negotiation for is our own brokerage system. Could you imagine that, having your own demo to be able to test your own stuff at with our name on it and your availability? Yeah, it's awesome. We also have some other people that are coming on and giving one-time products. There's percentages off that you get. You get discounts on products that we bring. So yeah.
Yeah, we're bringing a lot to the table this coming week. It's going to be really exciting, especially for the pros.
I can't wait. Now, also, there's some other things that'll be releasing that you'll see, out there, and then we'll let out there to all the pros, to those that are basic or into free. I'm glad we got an opportunity to meet some of you that are in basic. Thank you very much, Francis, for coming out. Anybody else who's watching this as well, please enjoy. If you decide to come on board, please enjoy the basic or the free side. But your real advantage is pro. Okay. All right, Brian. Thanks a lot, man, for hanging out with us.
You bet. Thanks for bringing me on board, man.
No worries. Patrick Morvan, Paul Davey. Francis, I'm sorry, I don't want to butcher your last name, but thank you very much for coming out. I'm Max Farrow. This is Deck Signals, and we hope to see you inside. We hope you trade well.